About a year ago, I was just sat on my computer chair playing Overwatch with a friend. It was about 3 in the morning, and I sat there like, bro, what am I doing with my life? And after that night, I got such a huge burst of motivation to improve my life and turn things around. And I actually like chugged along for like almost a month, I think. And then out of nowhere, I crashed and burned spectacularly. I got into a huge slump where I just had no willpower, no motivation to do absolutely anything. In this slump, that's what I call self-improvement hell. Now, don't take it the wrong way. I think it's absolutely wonderful to get that sort of burst of motivation. I'm sure everybody's experienced it. But what if I told you, you just used it the wrong way? Now, let me elaborate. See, most people, they get stuck in this self-improvement hell because they do one thing wrong, and that's that they get way too far ahead of themselves. And I'm guilty of this mistake too. It's that they try to do way too many things all at one time. And while that sounds great, you have a lot of motivation, you're going to try to get as much done as you can, it's actually quite counterproductive. I've mentioned this in a previous video, but a radical change of life can really only go so far until you're basically burnt out and completely exhausted of willpower. The actual approach, the smarter approach that works better in the long term, is a slow, gradual approach where you build things up one by one instead of trying to change everything at once. And think of it this way. Imagine doing one math problem at a time to get to 10 math problems completed instead of doing all of them at once. Obviously, if you do them one by one, you're going to be able to focus on them more, complete them faster, and just be more efficient. In going with this slower, smarter strategy, you're not going to completely burn out of willpower and just crash and burn, but you're actually also going to get more motivation because you're going to see that progress stack up with the thing that you're already building, and then you can add on to it as time goes on. See, I know this because I spent months in this self-improvement hell, this limbo, for fuck's sake. I know what it's like, and at the time, I shouldn't have been trying to work out 6 times a week, eat perfectly clean, meditate, and work on my mental health all at one time. I really should have just been trying to focus on one single thing and putting the utmost effort into that, building that up before moving on to the next damn thing. But eventually I did. I learned my lesson. But it seems like a lot of people still don't know. So if you're stuck in this kind of slump right now, don't be hard on yourself. Recharge, take a break, and come back with a smarter approach. Take a big habit that you want to build, for example, exercising. Start with that and start small. Focus on improving that, and once that becomes second nature, only then go on to the next challenge. I really urge you to take this approach because it's just going to work better in the long term. You're not going to be overloading yourself with work even though you think you can handle it, and you're not going to be completely exhausted. Listen, I know it's very easy to immediately want to turn your whole life around in one day, but it's just unrealistic. Just think about it. Self-improvement is a lifelong journey. It's not something that you just up and do. I mean, you didn't learn your multiplication tables and trigonometry at the same time, did you? So please, don't be so hard on yourself. I mean, after all, Rome wasn't built in one day, was it? Chances are you're not going to change your whole life in a day either. So that's why I'm urging you, just take it slow, be smart about it, and trust the process. I mean, just think about it. You've spent so many years of your life developing the habits that you currently have, like watching Netflix or like playing video games at night. If you immediately try to turn this around and completely change your life, how well is that going to go? I mean, humans are creatures of habit. We are biologically hardwired to hate change. So that's why it's just way better to take a methodical approach. And oftentimes, if you don't, you're just going to fall back into your old ways. Interestingly enough, on the flip side, once you build up a good habit that's like somewhat difficult to stick to, building up other habits becomes a hell of a lot easier because now you have some willpower and some more discipline. So let's say, for example, you started going to the gym 6 times a week and it's completely second nature to you now. It's a habit. I mean, yeah. If you try to start meditating now, it's going to be a hell of a lot easier than it would have been to start meditating before you had built up the habit of exercising. Now, if you can't even build your first habit yet, it really helps to break down habits into smaller, clearer goals. Take dieting, for example. Instead of just trying to instantly make a clean, perfect diet, start by making small food adjustments. Replacement is a great way to do that. So let's say instead of eating 3 PB&J sandwiches for lunch, make yourself egg white French toast. Way more volume, way less calories, still tastes good, And that simple swap you made could have saved you 300, 400 calories. Either way, I hope you get what I'm trying to say here. So like I said, pick yourself up. If you're in this kind of slump, just dust yourself off, recharge, and come back with a newer and smarter approach using the knowledge that I just armed you with. I guarantee you, if you take this approach, you will not only see more results, but you will be able to adhere to what you want to do better in the long term and ultimately not burn out and crash and feel like shit. Anyway, thank you for watching this far. It's pretty clear that you're interested in self-improvement, and if you like what you hear, you want to see more from me, consider subscribing. Anyway, till next time.